lovelies, this is Cherie from Divine Visions with your twin flame reading for November 2018. I hope you're all doing really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is happening for the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine for this month. I'm using the Good Tarot as well again today, and I'm going to use Healing with the Fairies cards as well. So let's have a look at what's going on. Okay. Going to have a look at the Healing with the Fairies cards also. We just had a card. I thought we had more than one just fly out then, but maybe not. We've got one card which is letting go, which is interesting. So this may be a special message for some of you that have decided to let this go for now and are just deciding to focus on yourselves and your own healing work or your own career, your own health, your independence, all that kind of thing. It may be that you're just letting go of the stress between, you know, that has been arising from this whole connection. It's time to relax around this whole thing. It's been driving everyone nuts lately, or for a while. So we're going to see right now, first up, where the Divine Masculine is currently at right now within himself. Okay, I'm not doing reversals, just so you know. So the Six of Earth is a sharing, generous kind of energy. It's very balanced energy. Once again, it can be in the material world. So he may be focusing on the money aspects, his financial you know, security, his career, that kind of thing. But he might also be opening up to this connection, not so much closing off to it and not so much jumping into it, but just remaining still and just, you know, sort of like standing there and allowing you to come in. If you want to come in and speak to, you know, if the Divine Feminines want to come forward and speak to him, he'll be there with his arms wide open. I don't feel like he's actually really rushing and gushing into this, but he's not necessarily closing off to it at the same time. He's feeling a lot of love within himself for the divine, towards the Divine Feminine, I feel. It's growing within him. There's a balance with this love within him as well. I feel like he wants to be able to share this with the Divine Feminine, but there's still this feeling of stepping back. And as I said, it's not like he's closing off. It's not like he's rushing into it, but it's just standing still and observing. See how this stag here is just, or an elk or whatever it is just observing the situation. It's not actually moving into it, and it's not running away. So I feel like the Divine Masculines are really, it's like a part of them have gotten it now. They've realised that there's been an epiphany happening within them. There's been shifts occurring within their physical life as well. And I just feel like they just know that how they feel towards this Divine Feminine. There's a Justice card here as well, which is equality and fairness. There may be contracts between yourself and this particular Divine Masculine, whether you were actually in a connection with each other, legally, financially, living in a home together or married. It could also be that this could also be contracts that he himself is dealing with on his side of things here. Could be a karmic relationship, or it may just be, as I said before, the monetary plane here, the material plane. It could be things that he's still trying to cut loose, you know, cut those loose ends off. So it's like tying the loose ends, I should say. He's cutting off things that no longer serve him in his life. And it's like he's really coming into this balance within himself now, and this feeling of, I get this real calmness with him, actually. It doesn't really feel like there's this huge chaos or anything like that in his life. He actually has this knowing where he's at right now. He knows where he's been. He's gone through a journey, and he knows that it's been hard work and there's still hard work to go. But at the moment, he's in a good place within himself. I feel like he is secure within himself to a degree where he knows where he's at. He knows what he wants. But as I said, it's not action. Not necessarily an action card towards the Divine Feminine, but he knows what he must do. He's on his path now. And the Justice, this is the sword of truth here. So, as I said before, he knows, there's knowledge here. He knows what he wants to say or do, or, what the next best step is for him towards the Divine Feminine. It's just about timing. I get the word patience with him as well. He's just patiently waiting for the right time to move forward. Because he's gathering things together, he's gathering his abundance together, right? The Empress is all about the growth, its fertility, its abundance, its beauty, its attraction, those kinds of things. And I feel like for him, that's what he's actually building in his life right now is, that magnet. It's like it's this magnetic attraction is growing stronger and stronger. And it's really weird because sometimes when the Divine Masculines just stop for a moment and don't run away, they start to actually really feel this connection and the magnetic pull again towards the Divine Feminine. So he's also, with the Justice, I'm getting a lot of karmic past lessons here as well for him, and the 11 is intuition. So I'm feeling like he's really opening up to his intuition as well regarding the Divine Feminine, the Empress energy here, and what he needs. Like, he's actually starting to nurture his own self, his own life, in many ways, not just physically and financially, but emotionally. And I feel like for him, it's also about him wanting to open up and share an aspect of himself with the Divine Feminine. He's come to some truth within himself that he knows that he wants to share this with her. So it's not just about selfishness, even though he may not have necessarily deliberately have been selfish and consciously been selfish earlier. Or prior, it's some of his actions did appear that way, that he was being quite selfish, but he's come to realize how that has appeared to the Divine Feminine now, and even to other people in his life, of how his actions have been and how it has been that he hasn't just got himself to think about. There is someone else in this partnership here as well. Now, once again, I know last month we had a Divine Masculine who was very focused on the finances in his life and security and the physical realm. That's still an aspect in this reading as well, is that he's still trying to get his whole, pretty much build his empire and, have this financial security and abundance and everything in his life. But it's not just, as I said before, something he's just solely focused on. He's also got the Divine Feminine in mind here as well, about the future and what's the next best step. So it's almost like he's waiting to see what she's doing as well. Yeah, so we've got a Divine Masculine who may be very much in his mind. This is the Gemini, Aquarius or Libra energy here. So it's someone who's very intellectual. It's somebody who wants to communicate. So somebody who wants to come forward and communicate. They are very much in their minds as well. There's a lot of planning going on. As I said before, he's planning his pathway. He knows where he wants to be. He knows where he's been. He knows where he's going. He's got some understanding and knowledge and security and calmness and reassurance within himself now. So this is really looking good. And as I said, the truth, like, it feels to me like he has come to face the truth in some abrupt way. So something's happened for him. I don't know what it is, but it could be an overnight thing even. It could be something that he's had a dream about, or it could just be some life lesson once again that he has come to realize, wow, that's not the path that I was meant to be on, and this is the path I'm meant to be on now. So he's got clarity. He's not taking shit from anybody either. It's like he's really become assertive. He's actually a little bit protective around himself regarding people that no longer serve him and people that he's had to say goodbye to, or that he's trying to say goodbye to or is about to say goodbye to. There's a strong stance within him. He knows what he wants, and he's going to be not mucking around now. Yeah. So as I said, there's no real action towards the Divine Feminine at this stage that I can see. We will see what happens further on in the reading. But I definitely get in his mind, he's made a decision and he's just waiting for the right time to move forward. This is really good. Now I want to see where the divine, actually, what I want to do with that, I didn't even pick a fairy card. Fairy card, look at this, sexuality. So this is definitely on his mind. Obviously, the divine feminine is on his mind. Sexuality is on his mind, but it's more than just the physical once again. He wants to share this with the divine feminine. It's such a sacred sexuality. So he's feeling this spiritually. If you have connected physically, he's remembering that. He's reminiscing about that. This is what he wants to achieve with the divine feminine as well. As a life and moving forward on all those in that direction and having the mission together. But there's definitely this component here, and he's obviously thinking about this strongly, and he's feeling it on the spiritual plane as well. So he's definitely thinking a lot about the divine feminine in that aspect as well. All right, so where is the divine feminine at right now within herself? Okay, so the divine feminines have come to some sort of clarity. I feel the divine feminines, these particular divine feminines have been through a real roller coaster ride emotionally in the last 3 months especially. For some reason that's coming through really strongly, that there's been some real mental confusion, there's been frustration, there's been perhaps some anger arising, there's been a wanting to let go. Now it's funny because we saw that letting go card in the very beginning. And that could be walking away from the connection, which is interesting because if she's feeling like she wants to pull back and let go, he's going to be really interested in that. He's going to feel that, and it's going to pique his interest as to what's going on. He'll feel it energetically, whether you've told him or not. You know, divine feminines have told the divine masculine or not that it's going to be this way. He's feeling it anyway. And so the divine feminines are perhaps moving on in their life. You know, this is what they're choosing to do right now, and it's for their own sanity. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, wow. So, yeah, this is the Eight of Cups. This is saying, see you, ass, you know, see you later, I'm going. See ya. You know, I was going to say see ya, asshole, but I thought I'd better not say that. But anyway, I just did. But, yeah, it's like, see ya, asshole. You know, this is how a lot of them are feeling. And I feel like with this divine feminine, it's not necessarily a really nasty energy, but she's just fed up and she's had enough. So it's like, you know, it's interesting. There's a ship here and there's a ship here as well. And it's a moving away. So emotionally disconnecting from this, having clarity in the mind to just move forward and say, you know what? I'm done with this for now. I don't need this in my life right now. I don't need this stress. I don't need the mental confusion. I just need to find myself. I need to go off and find myself. And, yeah, if the divine masculine wants to come and find me, he knows where to find me. That's what I'm hearing. Because I don't feel like, and it's funny, because the divine masculine wasn't feeling the doors were closing and the doors weren't, you know, he wasn't running away either. But at the same time, that's interesting because she's not moving towards him, so he's got no reason to run anyway at the moment. But the divine feminines, you know, they've just let go energetically. He's feeling it. There's clarity that's come to her mind here as well, a new idea, a new inspiration to move forward and find herself. I keep hearing find herself. Because there's a lot of spiritual treasures here. There's a lot of lessons and knowledge for her to learn about herself and this whole life path, okay? It's not just all about him right now. If he's not exactly ready, or if there's been some gameplay playing, or, you know, anything like that she's felt that this has been a really difficult journey to just get on that one track together, you know, this is where it's like, well, there's an epiphany here. I'm going to move and leave your sorry ass behind, you know? It's really funny. It's funny but sad, you know. I can see the funny side to these things, so I'm not laughing at anybody's situation because, believe me, I've been there and it's not an easy situation. But I tend to see the funny side to this. I have a bit of a weird sense of humour at times. But you know what? She's strong. So even though there's sadness and all those things, she's been through it though. I feel like a lot of them have already been there and they just want to let go of that heavy burden now. So we got the Eight of Air, which is a self-limiting belief. She's felt trapped in this particular journey with the divine masculine in this particular last 3 months. You know, it's been for a while, but for some reason the last 3 months has been really full on and she's come to a decision to move away from this particular thing in her life, you know, this journey, because I feel like they wait. The divine feminines are waiting and waiting and waiting, not realizing that they have more power than they're actually realizing, because they tend to give their power away and think that it's all up to the divine masculine to do. It's up to him to make a move. It's up to him to change and come back to me, and, you know, all these things. And it's not necessarily the case. The divine feminines have got a lot of power, but they've got to find themselves along the way as well, and come into their own power and realize this power is strong, and the courage to move forward, okay? We've got 2 aces here, which is a new pathway, a new beginning, a blessing. So there's new inspiration once again, new courage coming forward into her life. We've got the Devil card here, temptations. So there's a star as well, a wish coming true. Hopes and dreams, you know, keeping the faith that she's not going to fall back into old patterns, and that she can actually board this boat and get on with her life for a while. Doesn't mean she's letting go of him entirely, but just to change her focus, just to allow herself to, you know, embark on another journey where she's allowing other things that are meaningful into her life, because it's just too painful to be on the path that she's been on right now. Yeah. Still wishing upon a star. I feel like, especially at night time, there's a lot of divine feminines will find it very hard to sleep, or will find it very hard to detach, you know, from that the mental state where you're actually dwelling on things and going over things in your minds. But there is a wishing upon a star, and wishing that this will all be easier than what it has been, and it's going to be. I feel like once she decides to move in this direction for a while and seek out her life mission, you know, this is really going to help her. Now, fairy card for her. Oop, I think I've got 2 there. Look at this, self-reliance. This is so in line with what we just said, her independence, coming into her own power. And it's around money as well, so there could be a path, a career path that she also is looking at going into, and earning more money, and finding that she's financially abundant as well in her own life, and strong in that area as well. Now, what does the divine masculine want the divine feminine to know right now? Okay, we've got the Queen of Air, which could be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. And this is somebody who's very, I feel like for the divine feminines, this is somebody that's really come into their own wisdom. And that's what I feel is going on with this whole thing of this pathway she's going into. She's acquired some wisdom. So what he wants her to know is to not lose sight of her intuition. Intuition. Here we go, High Priestess. Don't lose sight of the higher thing here, because sometimes it's too easy to get caught up in the whole dramas and chaos and the bitterness and all those things, but there is a higher purpose for everything involved, and he really wants the divine feminine to come into this powerful energy here, because this is the powerful energy that is going to get things done. This is the drive, this is the truth coming through of what everything is about, to see the truth for what it is, not the illusions that come through, okay? He wants her to embrace her true emotional fulfillment. He wants her to be emotionally happy in life, not just with him, but in her own life. To reach this, what am I saying? Yeah, I'm getting the word contentment. It's like this contentment. It's this, it's the heart chakra that sings. So he wants her to be, her heart chakra to be singing, and for her to be so happy in her life and emotionally healed and happy, you know, just all those things, but also with wisdom in her heart. So to follow her heart, to listen to her heart, because the heart knows the way. Because she's defending herself. You know, there's a lot of walls being built up here around her heart. And that's understandable for what she's been through, but he wants her to know that she doesn't need to be doing that with him. Swift energy coming in. Communication. She's guarded. She is guarded around communication. She doesn't know what to say. She doesn't know. See, this is the Two of Air. Like, he wants her to know that she doesn't have to. If she has to walk away at the moment, he understands that. On a spiritual level, he understands all that stuff. Because she's acquiring her wisdom. She's coming into her own power. She's trying to find her own life mission and happiness in life. So he understands this, and he wants her to know that it's okay if the Divine Feminines need to seek out their own journey for a while. And, you know, this is also a self-protective energy here, and not always wanting to see what is going on. You know, hiding. It's like the ostrich that hides their head in the sand. It's like that denial almost as well. Some Divine Feminines just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the stuff that holds them back. They just want to get on with life, you know, just get on with it and hurry up and heal kind of thing and acquire this wisdom. But there is something they need to overcome. So it is to do with communication with the Divine Masculine. There's something there that I feel she's been very quick at putting her walls up, very quick at putting walls up, and perhaps even lashing out at him and then putting walls up, you know, and it's not who she truly is. And she feels bad, she feels sad, you know, all those things. This is where she really wants to come to, and he's saying you can do that, you know. The Divine Feminines can get to that point. They just need to be really gentle with themselves, and I feel like this wall is going to come down once they actually come to this, go through this pathway of finding themselves, seeking out their life mission, opening their heart to those things. And this other stuff will just resolve itself, you know, dissolve. Be honest with yourself. See past the illusion. So that's for the Divine Feminines. They've got to be honest with what they really need to do to follow their bliss. What does the Divine Feminines want the Divine Masculine to know? She wants him to embrace victory in his life. See, this is passion and everything as well. It's a fiery energy. It's the movement. It's action. It's moving forward. So she's really behind him and she's supportive of his journey, like his strength. You know, she sees that he's a strong Divine Masculine, that he can be victorious in his pathway if he puts his mind to it, to start this new journey, you know. This is the foundation, a strong path. She wants him to know that she acknowledges, sorry, the camera's moving. She acknowledges that he is putting hard work into his own life, into this connection. It might not feel like that for a lot of Divine Feminines, but spiritually, this is their spiritual self anyway talking to him, that they acknowledge that he is moving forward in life, and he has a reason to be proud of himself. Self-pride, you know, this is the rewards coming in, and he's doing it tough on his own. He has been doing it tough. He's been working hard. But she's not giving up. She wants him to know that even though she needs to walk away, and maybe she has gotten pissed off, you know, along the way, she may have to just get off that boat that she's on with him, right? She gets off this vessel with him and says, you've got to go and do this on your own. I'm going to go and do some stuff of my own. And I'm not giving up on this as much as I've wanted to really fully give up on it. I just need to find myself. It's not like I'm giving up on the whole connection, which you can't anyway, really, with the twin flame. But, you know, a lot of people really don't want to even think about it. They don't want to go there. They don't want to have hopes for the future. They just want to move on with a soulmate, perhaps, or even on their own. But this particular Divine Feminine has thought of those things. But deep down, she's not giving up. And she wants him to know that. She just is just frustrated with the whole process. She wishes it was a different way. She does know deep down that she's got work to do and that he has work to do. So, yeah, it's what she wants him to know. There she is, having to hold back, right? She can't jump in. She has to hold back. She's telling him that she's holding back out of fear in some ways as well. She does have fear around the whole situation with this as well. See, she's becoming a hermit. She has to withdraw to gain that knowledge, to gain that empowerment, and that wisdom within herself as well. She knows she's becoming stronger. It's funny because she might feel really vulnerable doing those things, but as she embarks on that journey, she's going to come into this strength. And he also is coming into his own strength as he's building himself and his self-esteem, his empire, as I was saying before, as well. Environmental awareness. So this is very much about your location, your own space, you know, and it's all about safety, feeling safe, having that higher perspective on everything. He's very aware of his own space and what he needs to do. As I saw before, he knows where he's at. He knows what he wants to do. He's planning it. But he also knows the Divine Feminine's not really ready as well. So she's got to find herself in her own space. Where does she fit in for what she needs to learn and how she needs to grow in that environment? You know, this is part of her journey. So what is a Divine Masculine going to do? What's his action? Okay, we've got a new direction. We've got communication. Okay, this is what we're seeing here with the Divine Masculine, I should say, is a new direction, a new adventure, moving forward. Okay, so he's definitely on his path. I feel like this is to do with communication. So there is something new that he's going to be doing, I feel, when he's not perhaps having conversations or contact with the Divine Feminine. Feels like he'll be on social media, perhaps looking at what she's doing, because he's feeling this shift. So what is she doing? What is going on in her life? He's sitting back and observing, see? We saw that before with the stag or the elk, where he's just observing. He's not acting, he's not jumping in, and he's not running away. He's just sitting back watching. He's still doing his own stuff in his life, but he's curious as to what's going on. And it's internally driving him nuts, okay? So some parts of himself are going to be frustrated. As we saw before, there was a lot of thinking about the sexuality side of things. He's feeling that on that level, so there could be some frustration here as well. He's anxious. He might think she's moving on with somebody else. Deep down, you know, it could even be a subconscious thing for a lot of them as well. But he's dwelling. I feel like a lot of them are really in their minds, really observing, feeling a bit stuck, even though they are progressing in their life with their finances and everything and their self-esteem and moving forward and getting strong. He is also feeling this shift that she's moving on. So he doesn't really know what to do. It's like he's thinking, should I contact her or should I just let things go and keep observing and waiting? Because it's like he also knows on a deeper level that you're off doing what you need to do. You know, the Divine Feminines have things they need to do. But it's also the not knowing of what's going on in the Divine Feminine's life. A lot of questions arising there. Is there competition around? Are there other people that could be in her life, you know, that she's is she falling in love with someone else kind of thing? Has she forgotten me, I'm hearing? Has the Divine Feminines forgot me? Or the Divine Feminine? You know, have they forgotten me? That's one big thing here, and there's a lot of stress and anxiety around that in the mind. It's mental conflict, right? Dwelling, staying up at night, wondering about this, probably up late at night watching your media, social media, you know, seeing what is like. It's not creepy. It's not like stalkish behaviour. It's kind of funny actually, but it's not like a psycho, you know what I mean? But but he is. I feel the Divine Masculines are in some way trying to spy on the Divine Feminines because they have felt this massive shift. Oh my God, she's let go. She's not contacting me anymore. She's not lashing out. Has she really moved on? Like, they're going to feel it in the whole energy. Now, this could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Divine Feminine that we're talking about. Well, someone's got very practical, earthy energy anyway. Yeah, he's actually he's doing a lot of reflecting to do with this particular divine feminine. He's reflecting on the past. He's missing her. He is actually feeling like, it's not like a pining. It's hard to explain. It's not like he's pining after her, but because he is doing his own stuff as well, right? But there is a missing. He does miss her. There is a feeling of missing her and feeling left behind is what I'm getting. It's definitely a self-esteem issue going on there. So even though he's building himself up, all those things in his life on other aspects, when it comes to his love life with the divine feminine, he's not that confident. In some aspects, he's not that confident because he feels like he's losing her. That's why. Okay, so awakening your true self. I feel like he's really on a journey where the action he's going to take as well is that he is really, really looking within. There might be some meditation for them, or just going into a really deep minds, like a deep thought, deep thoughts, deep mindset, that kind of thing. Is really thinking very strongly and deeply about his life and about what is important to him and what he needs to do and how can he achieve what he wants and how can he overcome his fears and things like that. Now, what is the divine feminine's actions? What is she going to do? Well, some of them are going to go through a tower moment and have a bit of a breakdown. They are shifting, right? They're moving on. They're making a decision to move onto that boat, basically, and to go and find themselves. So there are going to be a lot of changes going on for them. It may be an unsettling feeling, as even though it can be an exciting thing to go and find yourself, it's also a scary thing, and it's also a sad thing if you feel like you're leaving someone behind. So this is going to be an unsettling time for the divine feminines, but at the same time it is positive. See, we've got the sun here. So she knows that deep down this all has to be, it's meant to be. There will be light illuminating on the whole situation for her. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. Now, this could be around a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces divine masculine, or someone who is just perhaps a very romantic person. They could wear their heart on their sleeve. They might be very intuitive, very caring, very nurturing, very sensitive. This is the kind of divine masculine that we're coming into, like the energy of right here. So this is what it's basically around, is that she's having some clarity around this situation, I should say. Situation. It's like almost like that sometimes. But there's a patience card here. So she's got temperance. So there's a balance and harmony coming through. So she's actually going to, I feel, find in her heart some kind of harmony with this situation, right? With whatever she's going through, she's going to just accept it and just let it run its course. Twin flame card, see? Because she knows that things have to run their course, things have to happen, right? And she understands that at this time, this has to happen. The process has to happen. They're always connected, and there's always being able, they're going to be able to connect again at a later time. She just seems to know that in herself. And this is the opportunities awaiting her, see? She's putting her intentions out there. Maybe there's been plans. Maybe she's booked a holiday. Maybe the divine feminines are deciding, it could be a career change, could be moving house, could be something big. There's significant things going on for her, and there's a focus that she's putting on in other areas of her life to better herself. She hasn't forgotten the divine masculine, but she is paying attention to herself now. Her own hobbies, her own interests, her own life, her career, her family, just her own circles. This is something that she has many opportunities over the horizon waiting for her, and she's excited about that. So that's what she's going to do. She hasn't forgotten him, obviously, because there's a Six of Water, which is, memories from the past and thinking and reminiscing around him, and there's hope here as well. So, as I said, she hasn't forgotten him. She knows that this is the process. But she's got to break free, and that's what she's going to do for a while. Now, what is the challenges the Divine Masculine is going to face this month? Jumping in, taking a risk. Right? We've got a Divine Masculine that may be a very passionate, fiery person, might be a very impulsive person. So it's like this could be a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. They could be in their ego. They might allow themselves to, you know, be too afraid to jump into something and take a risk, or be too impulsive in some areas. It might be being too careful. As I said, I still get it strongly, is that no matter what star sign this Divine Masculine is anyway, this particular ones that I'm tuning into are struggling with self-esteem issues around the connection with the twin flame. Now, the Seven of Air is all about deception. It could be illusions, things that are hidden from, you know, from somebody. I feel like this is a challenge that the Divine Masculine's facing, is that he doesn't know all the knowledge of everything yet. He doesn't know what she's up to. So he's feeling unsure. He's very unsure of what's going on. Mental conflict. Right? That's what's going on within him for this month. The Queen of Water could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Or it may be just a very maternal, nurturing, caring, psychic, intuitive, romantic person, Divine Feminine. Someone who could be a mother or just have those very maternal qualities. But let's see what else is coming up. Manifesting. Yeah, okay, thanks. Oh, yeah, I just got the message. So this is a maternal kind of nurturing, caring, very beautiful Divine Feminine energy. And we all Divine Feminines have this energy, okay? So it doesn't just apply to Libra and, what am I saying, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But if that is you, then that's a pretty significant message too. But what it's saying here is that he is used to, for those who've been in contact and have had a connection strongly, or even energetically, it doesn't matter. He's felt this connection. He's felt this energy coming in where he's been nurtured, where he has been looked after and cared for and loved, and she's extended that out to him, right? And he misses that. And he doesn't know who is she giving that to now? You know, is she giving that to someone else? And he's feeling left out in the cold here. So these are his challenges. This is what we're looking at, isn't it? The challenges. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah. So the Five of Earth is feeling left out in the cold. He's trying to create this energy again somehow. Even in his mind, he's remembering it, but he's trying to manifest it. He's feeling upset because he can't manifest this even with someone else. He can't manifest the same energy. It's like a DNA, you know, blueprint or something. I don't even know what I'm really saying, but it's like a DNA blueprint. It's like he can't copy it. You can't clone it. You know, even with anybody, it doesn't matter. But with the twin flames, it is a very significant, special connection that nobody else can replicate. So it's like he is trying to manifest that perhaps in his mind. He thinks, oh, maybe I could find this with someone else. Maybe I just need to move on. You know, some of them will feel that, because they're missing this connection. There's a sexual frustration and things like that we saw before. But he can't find the same connection that he had with her. So he's feeling left out and suffering in that, right? He misses her. These are the struggles he's going through this month. And there's the sexual chemistry and the passion and the fiery energy as well. He's going to find it hard to just jump in and move on in his own path as well. Because, yeah, okay, she's moved on. I better move on. It's not going to happen that fast. It's not going to happen easy for him. Deep down, I don't even feel this particular Divine Masculine wants to embark on another pathway. It's almost like he knows that he's deluding himself. Because, and it's not to say that he can't ever, because there'll be Divine Feminines who really just move on, and they could move on for a long time. And yes, he may have companionships and things like that, but it's not going to ever be the same as what he had with his Divine Feminine, and he's going to really feel that. He's going to miss that. it's going to be something missing in his life. There's miracle healing here on the spiritual plane together. See, romantically, the romantic partners, a twin flame connection. They're having this miracle healing coming in, which is beautiful. Harmony, see? Yeah, and also I feel when I see the Make Music card, it tells me also that there can be certain songs that come up that that you really connect with each other with. There might be a song that you both know about, that you know is your soul song, or that it's a song that you know and you recognize and that you hear and you instantly think of them, and there's a healing going on there as well with that. I feel like when he hears this song, he's going to be really thinking of the Divine Feminine strongly, and also energetically it's going to heal things there. All right, so what challenges does the Divine Feminine face this month? The Three of Air is the heartbreak. See, she's torn. Even though she knows she needs to make a decision, she's also having to move forward onto another path. And for some, there might be karmic connections here as well, like a third party. But I really do feel like this is more about her own mental heartbreak, conflict, that kind of thing she's trying to break free from. So that could be hard for her. This is to do with a divine masculine who's a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, or someone who's very earthy, practical, reliable kind of energy here, very grounded and perhaps stubborn in some ways as well. And she's just feeling real heartbreak at having to walk away from this. She wants to reach out. It's going to be a challenge for her because she at times wants to be able to make contact with him, but just feels it's going to be the same old, not getting anywhere. Five of Water is the regret. See? Sadness. It's what she's struggling through right now. She's got challenges there. So it's like even when she goes to think of him or go to contact him, it brings up these memories of the things that went wrong. You know, what's the point of actually going over this stuff? It wasn't heard before, or it was shunned, or, you know, rejected, or whatever. It didn't work out, so what's the point? I might as well just move on for a while. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Look, social. Moving into a social network, friendships, or perhaps going out and drinking, partying, getting into that social vibe, getting out from being that hermit and just enjoying her friendships and circles. That could be a little bit hard for some divine feminines because a lot of them just want to become a hermit. They just want to go off and find themselves, right? They don't really want to be going off, and they're not really in it. Their heart's not in it to get out there. It's fast energy here. Yeah, this is the things that are not known to the Divine Feminine. So there are some things that she's still unsure of, that she's finding her way with, okay? About herself, this is intuition, things that are still hidden from her that she feels like she needs answers to from the connection that she wasn't getting from her Divine Masculine. But at the but also, yeah, this is where she feels the challenge is that this is completion and success. She still feels and knows that this chapter is not fully resolved, right? Just because she's walking away at this stage, it's not resolved completely. So she's still dwelling. That's the thing. There's a lot of dwelling going on still here, and a lot of purging of this mental stuff going on. It's going around and around in her mind. It's feelings of sadness. She's really trying to break free from that. Why am I getting that? Okay. She might be driving past certain places where they had memories together, maybe where they first met up together physically. It might be songs that she's hearing on the radio, or something she's doing that's reminding her of the good times together, and it's making her more sad. So that could be a challenge for some of them in letting go fully, because they're still holding on to all those things at the moment. So it's like a catch-22. You're trying to move forward, but you're also holding on. And reliving all those things. The Ace of Water is that self-love here, right? That nurturing energy, the new energy coming in. And you've got this respite and recovery energy coming in. So this is what she needs to do. She needs to take a break because emotionally and mentally she's burnt out. So that's going to be a challenge for some of them to move forward, even though they know they need to. Really, they need to just get out and embrace their friendship circles, get out and socialise a bit, get out and exercise, go and do some hobbies, take up some study, move into a new job. Whatever they need to do, they just need to get their minds off this. They're dwelling too much. All right, so what is... I'm just going to have a look at what I want to see here. Just working out what else I need to ask here, sorry. What are we up to? I think I've pretty much covered those parts of it. I'm going to go and get a special message for each one of you, okay? Okay, so I've got the Rumi cards for a special message for the end of this reading. I love these cards. They're so poetic and beautiful. Just lovely. So just what message, what special message do we have for the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, the Twin Flames for this month, please? Whoa. Okay, they're all flying out, so I'm going to have to... I'm not going to read all those. Just do them again. Just one card, please. There it is. What have we got here? We have number 4, the Cloak of Christ. So I'm just going to find this message in the book for you. I need to get one of those little holder things, don't I, so you can see it. All right, anyway, I'm going to have a look at what... God, I'm doing well tonight, aren't I? Okay, where are we? 32. Just going to read it out to you what this message is. So... let's have a look. The Cloak of Christ. In the school of humanity, when you become intimate with God, you reside on the King's throne and teach the angels the nature of the divine. So it says, my sacred brother, he who shares my heart and yours, beating as one in harmony with the great unending love, brings you the mantle of his protection. Do you imagine that there is any part of your life, of your body, of your soul, that is outside the realm of his divine love and protection? Offer all to him, leave nothing cast aside. He and I together receive you absolutely without condition now. The compassion born out of our own struggles tempers the karmic weight of divine justice. We have been through the same journey you are taking now, sweet divine soul. In oneness with the divine heart, we know of your efforts and your struggles. So what is bestowed upon you now is the restoration of forgiveness, of kindness, of mercy. My sacred brother speaks to you. He shall receive your darkness and your light, the angel of your heart and the demon of your fear. Nothing is greater than my brother's love for you. Nothing is greater than my holy passion for you. Take refuge under the cloak of Christ, the mantle of my sacred brother, and know that you are held in our loving sanctuary. Wow, this is beautiful. You twin flames are protected by the cloak of Christ, okay? Because there is a lot of stuff going on. There is a lot of darkness coming in between divine feminines, divine masculines as well. Because you guys are trying to bring this light into the world, there are going to be a lot of outside forces that are trying to tear you apart, okay, as well. So you are tired, beloved. Your soul has been ravaged inside and out, and you are succumbing to struggle that is not karmic or necessary, but a symptom of fatigue and weariness of heart, mind, body, and soul. That which plagues you, whether something specific or a general nagging, malaise, or anxiety you cannot quite pin down, is not as powerful as you fear. You are being given a grace, here and now, that it may be overcome. Remember, your reactions are a symptom of your exhaustion and a sign that you need respite, sanctuary, and restoration. They are not a sign that something must be done so much as a sign that something must be received aloud. That something is healing made possible through divine protection. In this instance, protection is bestowed through the cloak of the Christ. So this cloak is a sacred container that places your body and soul within the loving energy of the Christ consciousness. This unconditionally loving energy is not limited to the being bearing its name, but is shared by Rumi and many other holy ones. So there is nothing within you that you would cause the Christ to turn away from you, not even those parts of you that may fill you with fear, shame, guilt, or regret. He and Rumi are sacred brothers, loving and supportive of each other, and they see your soul as one of their family, one of their own. You are so loved by them both, equally and without measure. So, this is really amazing because you guys are struggling, okay? The Divine Feminines especially are going through this feeling of just wanting to give up and having no energy left and being burdened and being burnt out. And they're needing this respite, okay? But you're being, the Divine Feminines and the Divine Masculines are being protected on this journey. Knowing that, really, we're mere mortals at the end of the day. We are mere mortals. I'm not saying or discrediting what, powers, how significant the mission is and what powers we need to be bringing into this world with the light and all those things. But we are mere mortals at the end of the day as well. And there is only so much that we can deal with on this physical journey in this human life. So it says here, there is a person, place, thing or belief that has come to be like a manacle, I think it is, around your wrist, or an iron ball and leg iron, preventing you from moving forward with the grace you have earned spiritually. You are being empowered here to shed that. Don't hesitate. Let yourself be cloaked in the Christ energy and receive the spiritual assistance you deserve now. So this is the journey the Divine Feminines are going on, is this spiritual assistance. You need to connect with your spirit guides. You need to connect with the higher powers, okay? Whether it be Jesus Christ, God, or whatever it is that your belief is, or your faith or religion, you need to connect with this heavenly or celestial source and be able to bring that light into your life. Okay, you need that protection because a lot of you are feeling that you can't do this alone. A lot of you have also felt that you don't want to be here on this earth anymore. It's just too hard. So this is also for the Divine Masculines as well that have really struggled upon this path, because they also, a lot of them are struggling, not more so than the Divine Feminines, but they are struggling in a very different way, because a lot of them don't understand what the Divine Feminines already have knowledge with. So they might even be struggling more so in many other ways, because they don't have the knowledge about the twin flame connection and what's going on with all the changes, within themselves and with this person, this amazing person they've come into contact with. Why are they acting crazy? Why is there such a crazy connection? All these things. So, yeah, it's amazing. So embrace that light, embrace the protection into your life. You really need it and you deserve it. Now, let's have a look at the special message for you guys. That's one. And I'll pick one more. Well, they always tell me how many they're going to give me. There you are. That's right. I can't always say just one more. They always give me another. All right, here we go. So, we're having a look at this one. Isn't that gorgeous? My nose always gets itchy when I'm doing these readings. I think they always say that Spirit's trying to communicate. So, sacred union. Look at this. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. So even if you can't be together or don't even feel like you want to be connecting right now, at least, envision that beautiful cloak of Christ, envision the protective light, envision the violet flame, protect the union, okay? Because it is a sacred union, and you know this. And try in those times of feeling, if you do feel really negative about the situation or about your twin flame, try and just send them light. Try and, even if you can't, embrace the whole connection or dwell on it or think about it or not even want a bar of it or whatever, just send it light. Just try and do that, okay? Because really, this is the truth. Now this one. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. there are doors opening up for you, for both of you. And there's a lot of love to give, and there's a lot of love to receive from the universe. This is more so from. Because you may not be open to each other right now, but the universe is always open. And, you know, spiritually you guys are always open. You've always got that connection going anyway. But this is really about life and the universe and your higher powers, bringing in this love into your life, bringing in all the blessings that you deserve. You need healing. You both need healing and nurturing and to be loved. And I know I keep going on about this every bloody reading. You know, self-love, you know, it's so cliche. Like, you got to love yourself first, blah, 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 you know, all that stuff. So I know everyone's sick of hearing it. I'm sick of saying it. But, you know, this is the thing. It's so true. Like, there's many ways to love yourself. There's many ways to open up this door. And the universe are going to open this door to you as well. You just got to open up your heart to accepting all the good things in your life that are going to help you. You have passions that you're not getting into. For some reason, you're self-sabotaging, okay? So a lot of you have passions for things, hobbies, or whatever it is. There's things you want to do, right, that you have stopped yourself doing. And, yeah, this is just saying you have every right to open those doors and pursue those, because you know what? You're special and you've got things to give to the world. Now, this particular reading, this card, I should say, it's a beautiful green. Looks like a healing energy here with the angel. And it says, it is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on another, now is the time to give to yourself. Oh my God, didn't we just say this? So the whole reading's been about this. But this is amazing. So I want you guys to do a meditation this week, at least once a week if you can, for a while. Even if it's something on YouTube that you find, you know, where you can do some, you know, those guided meditations where you can put the white light around yourselves, or just really give that energy to yourself, the healing energy, gratitude, that kind of thing. I've been writing in a gratitude journal. I mean, I haven't been doing it for a long time. But I've just recently decided I'm going to do that again. And it's amazing, like the shift in energy that happens when you start showing gratitude for the things you have in your life, even when you feel like shit. You know, it is amazing the doors that can open up for you once you start shifting the energy by just putting pen to paper or listening to a meditation as you go to sleep. It's that simple, okay? So I really hope this has helped you this month, and I look forward to connecting with you all next time. Love and blessings.